Deep in Africa, in a remote village called Kalosi, the place turned into a ghost town as soon as night fell. Villagers never left their homes after sunset and locked their doors tightly. The source of this fear was a legend of a curse that had been passed down for generations. Years ago, the Ngoma tribe, who lived in the forests surrounding Kalosi, lived in harmony with nature. The Ngoma people had a deep respect for the spirits of nature and believed in their power. Every year, they held a great ceremony around a sacred tree in the heart of the forest. This tree was not just a symbol for the tribe, but also a portal through which they communicated with their gods. One year, during the ceremony, the tribe's young and ambitious shaman, Maliki, performed a forbidden ritual to ask the gods for more power. It is said that this ritual disrupted the balance of nature and angered the gods. When the ritual was completed, an ominous silence fell over the forest. The next morning, the tribe found Maliki dead under the sacred tree. His face was frozen in a look of terror. After this event, strange things began to happen in the village. People went missing at night, and those who returned from the forest were found insane. The village elders explained that Maliki's curse had enveloped the entire forest, and that the spirits in the forest were restless. Therefore, the villagers decided never to go outside after sunset. Years passed, and the curse became a legend in Kalosi. However, one day, a group of archaeologists from the city arrived in the village. These archaeologists, ignoring the villagers' warnings, wanted to explore the ancient ruins deep within the forest. The villagers told them about the curse in the forest, but the scientists did not believe in such superstitions. The leader of the archaeologists, Dr. Thompson, found an ancient tablet. The tablet contained clues that the curse could be lifted. Dr. Thompson and his team boldly ventured into the heart of the forest. As they began to excavate around the sacred tree, night fell. Suddenly, they began to hear strange sounds in the forest. Whispers, screams, and ghostly figures surrounded them. As the team, terrified, wanted to stop the excavation, Dr. Thompson read the last line of the tablet. To bring peace to the spirits, a sacrifice is needed. At that moment, one of the team members vanished into the depths of the forest. The remaining members tried to return in fear, but it seemed the forest had closed off their way out. Dr. Thompson realized they had repeated Maliki's mistake. He pondered what the necessary sacrifice to complete the ritual might be. As the whispers around them grew louder, they suddenly saw Maliki's ghost beside the sacred tree. The ghost looked into Dr. Thompson's eyes and uttered these words: "A blood debt is paid with blood." Understanding that there was no way out, Dr. Thompson dropped a drop of his own blood onto the tablet, and the forest fell silent. The branches of the sacred tree swayed as if mourning, and then a profound silence ensued. Dr. Thompson was the only one to survive the forest, but he was found by the villagers in a state of madness. The villagers of Kalosi knew that the curse on the forest was still alive. The tablet brought back by Dr. Thompson was buried in the village square, and a stone was erected over it. On the stone was written, "Do not meddle with the spirits of the forest, or you will incur their wrath." From that day on, the village became even more withdrawn. No one dared to go into the forest at night. The curse of Kalosi was never forgotten, and the villagers always believed the forest was cursed. But the curse affected not only the villagers, but also those who came from outside the forest. Some travelers passing by the village who were forced to spend the night in the forest never returned. The villagers knew that their disappearances were not just related to the curse, but also to the dangers within the forest itself. Predatory animals, poisonous plants, and unknown diseases made the forest even more terrifying. One of the young villagers, Temba, gathered his courage to learn the truth behind this curse and save his village. His father had told him the story of Maliki with fear and anger in his eyes. Temba believed he could end the curse by venturing into the depths of the forest. His father opposed him, but Temba was determined. In the darkness of the night, Temba set out towards the forest. When he reached the place where the sacred tree stood, the surrounding silence broke. The spirits of the forest were still carrying Maliki's curse as they whispered to Temba. Drawing a circle around the sacred tree, Temba gathered his courage. Closing his eyes, he called out to Malachi's spirit. "Malachi, I am here to bring peace to the spirits. Show me the way." At that moment, a cold wind from within the forest surrounded Temba. When he opened his eyes, he saw the ghost of Malachi before him. "Young Temba," said the ghost, "we need your courage and pure heart to end the curse." Malachi taught Temba the ritual needed to lift the curse. As Temba danced around the sacred tree, Malachi's spirit accompanied him. Amidst the whispers, screams, and ominous sounds, Temba's determination did not waver. At the end of the ritual, Temba dropped a drop of his own blood onto the roots of the sacred tree. Suddenly, the darkness of the forest lifted. The trees swayed as if brought to life, and a bright light enveloped the area. Temba felt that Malachi's spirit had found peace. The spirits of the forest could now rest peacefully. When Temba returned to the villagers understood that he had succeeded. The curse over Kalosi was lifted. A festive atmosphere began to spread in the village once again. Villagers were no longer afraid to go into the forest at night. Temba became a hero in the village. However, the task that Temba accomplished left a deep mark on the village's memory. The end of the curse strengthened the villagers' bond with nature even more. They approached the spirits of the forest with greater respect. Temba's courage and determination became a legend that would be told for generations. Years later, the village of Kalosi continued to pass down this story to new generations. The annual ceremonies held around the sacred tree were not just a tradition, but also a symbol of living in harmony with nature and the spirits. Temba's name was inscribed in gold letters in the village's history, and his story became an inspiration for other villages deep in Africa. The curse of the forest was over, but the people of Kalosi never forgot the importance of living in harmony with nature. For them, learning from the mistakes of the past and showing respect to the spirits of nature became a guide for illuminating the future.